From the completion of the world's highest bridge to massive new airports, skyscrapers, and metros all around the world, 2025 is shaping up to become a very exciting year for mega projects around the world. Two completely different projects are currently in the race to become the tallest skyscraper in Canada, while India is building the single largest hybrid renewable energy park the world has ever seen. Hey, I'm your host Regis, and today we'll be counting down the 25 biggest and most impressive mega projects that are completing in 2025. We start off this list with the JP Morgan Chase building, a brand new $3 billion skyscraper that's set to open in New York City by 2025. Located at 270 Park Avenue, this new building will become the new headquarters of JP Morgan Chase. With a height of 423 meters, it's already...
Hold on, let me change the title of my YouTube. Top 20...
the sixth headquarters 2025. Located at 270 Park
JP
Avenue,
Morgan.
This new building will become the new headquarters of JP Morgan Chase. With a height of 423 meters, it's already the sixth tallest building in the city ever since construction topped out all the way back in February of 2024. And although sixth doesn't sound that impressive, we're talking about New York City here. The standards for skyscrapers are quite literally very high. The remaining construction work on the project mainly revolves around finishing touches on the skyscraper's facade, as well as its interior. Heading over to the Middle East, a vital infrastructure project within NEOM in Saudi Arabia is soon set to begin its first operations in early 2025. The $2 billion Port of NEOM will be the main shipping and logistics hub of the futuristic megacity project. It's strategically located along the country's Red Sea coast, giving it direct access to vital shipping routes connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa. An important thing to note is that only the Port of NEOM will open in 2025, and not Oxagon as a whole, which the port is a part of. Up next, India is about to start operations of what's set to be the single biggest hybrid renewable energy park in the world. With a capacity of as much as 30 gigawatts of both solar and wind energy, the Khavda Solar Park, located in Gujarat, just by the border with Pakistan, will be able to power as many as 18 million Indian homes. But those figures aren't the only thing that's impressive with this insane mega project. It's actually so big that the entire facility will span a mind-boggling area of 726 square kilometers. To put that into perspective, just this one energy park alone is roughly the same size as the entire country of Singapore. You can even see it directly from space. The entire $20 billion facility is estimated to be completed by 2026, but commercial operations will begin as early as Q3 in 2025.
Damn.
Now, China's no stranger when it comes to building some of the most impressive mega projects in the world. The most recent addition to their long list of record-breaking creations will be the Huajiang Canyon Bridge, located in the province of Guizhou. At 625 meters above the ground, it'll be the highest bridge in the world once it opens in June of 2025. To put that height into perspective, you could fit the entire One World Trade Center below this bridge, and you'd still have more than 80 meters left to spare. But interestingly, the bridge is estimated to cost only $280 million, which for a project of this size is actually pretty cheap. But aside from serving as a new major crossing across a massive canyon, the bridge will also become a tourist destination of its own, complete with private accommodations, a glass walkway, and even the highest bungee jump in the world. There's also a visitor center where tourists can learn about the bridge's construction and the history of the surrounding region.
That's nice. That's nice.
Over in the United Arab Emirates, a world-renowned art institution is about to open a brand new $1 billion museum in the country's capital. The Guggenheim Abu Dhabi will be the Guggenheim Foundation's very first location in Asia and host a collection of contemporary Arab, Islamic, and Middle Eastern art. The museum will be located on an island a few minutes away from the city's downtown, in a new cultural district, along with other prestigious art institutions such as the Louvre and the British Museum. And for those of you who aren't familiar, the Guggenheim Foundation is a non-profit organization that's known in the art industry as one of the leading institutions for the collection and preservation of contemporary art. We're now reaching the top 20 mega projects of 2025. And before we show you all the super tall skyscrapers, massive airports, tunnels, bridges, and everything else that'll be completed in 2025, we quickly want to thank our long-term partner CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this video. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's just one of the best VPNs out there. So let us quickly tell you why CyberGhost is such a great choice. Now, as you know, a VPN is essential for protecting your digital privacy. Plenty of eyes are watching you every time you go online, and even incognito mode doesn't prevent that. Your internet service provider, your school or work's IT department, even your home Wi-Fi router, they can all track what you do online.
Wait,
And
really?
that's where CyberGhost
Even
VPN
right now?
comes in. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse to encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure servers. This way, no with
That's my
iOS,
man.
and you can protect up to 7 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with friends and family. With our link, cyberghostvpn.com/megabuilds, you get their best deal ever. Just $2.03 a month plus 4 months free, which is 84% off. There's also a 45-day definitely recommend, like this one. Thanks in advance. And now for the top 20, we're heading over to Germany, to the 4 Frankfurt. And if that name sounds a little familiar, well, that's because we've actually featured it a couple of times before here on the channel. In fact, in last year's version of this video, we mentioned that it was going to be completed in 2024, but it's
So they
already the
lied.
next year, and that still hasn't happened yet because of constant delays with its construction. To give a brief refresher, the 4 Frankfurt will be a $1.1 billion high-end complex of 4 mixed-use skyscrapers that'll be located right in the middle of the city. As of today, the project is currently planned to open sometime in 2025, with most of the structural work on the 4 towers themselves already completed. Of the 4 skyscrapers, the tallest in the complex will reach a height of 233 meters, making it the 3rd tallest building in Germany. Up next, Pakistan just finished constructing the longest dedicated railway bridge in the country. The Bangabandhu Railway Bridge runs for a total of 4.8 kilometers over the Jamuna River, connecting the cities of Siraganj and Tangail, an important corridor that connects most of the country's rail network to the capital of Dhaka. Now, this brand new bridge is going to be a
Dhaka?
huge upgrade compared to the old, outdated one. Unlike the existing bridge, the new one will have 2 trains which can simultaneously run 2 tracks going opposite directions. Aside from that, the speed limit is also increasing from an absurdly low 20 kilometers per hour to a more reasonable 120 kilometers per hour. Construction on the bridge actually finished back in November with a total cost of $1.6 billion. Test runs have already been conducted, and the start of commercial operations are expected to begin this January.
That was already back
Over
then.
in Sweden,
We're
a
in March.
$1.9 billion research facility is set to conduct its first operational tests in 2025. The European Spallation Source will focus mainly on the production of neutrons, which can be used for many different applications. We're not exactly scientists on this channel, but the way they do this is by using what's called a particle accelerator that smashes protons into a heavy target. This process releases neutrons, which are then captured and used for a wide range of scientific research. Now, once completed, this facility would become one of the most powerful neutron sources in the entire world. It'll enable researchers in fields such as material science, chemistry, biology, and physics to reach scientific breakthroughs, and therefore to help answer some of the most important and fundamental questions that we have about our world. One major use case for this mega project would be for getting accurate images of various materials up to the atomic level, and this would provide us with new, clearer insights on how these things are formed and interact with other objects. Now, going back to India, one of the biggest and most populated cities in the world is set to open its much-needed second international airport. The Navi Mumbai Airport aims to alleviate the overwhelming congestion at Mumbai's existing airport, which has long struggled to meet the ever-growing demands and population of the city. The new airport is expected to open sometime around March of 2025, and will be able to accommodate 25 million passengers each year. In total, the project is estimated to cost as much as $2 billion. It's also planned to be further expanded and bring its capacity to up to as much as 90 million by 2032. Continuing with transportation infrastructure, the tiny island country of Bahrain is set to completely revolutionize its public transport system, with a project that's been, quite frankly, long overdue. The Bahrain Light Rail Network will be a 30-kilometer elevated rapid transit system that'll serve the capital city of Manama and its surrounding metropolitan areas. The two lines are currently under construction and being built with an investment of $2 billion. Both lines are expected to accommodate as many as 200,000 passengers every day once they open in 2025. There are also plans to expand the metro system even further down south, with 2 additional lines and an extension of the existing ones. Once fully completed, the Bahrain Metro will even be integrated with the Gulf Railway Network, better connecting the small country with the rest of the Arabian Peninsula. On the other side of the Arabian Peninsula, the Red Sea project in Saudi is taking shape as 2 major parts of this massive megaproject are set to open in 2025. The first of the 2 is Shura Island. This naturally dolphin-shaped island by the coast will serve as the hub and a gateway for the entire Red Sea project.
My boy Jason DeWeen live. What is he doing?
I want to try and gather everybody, as much people as possible, and watch the last 2 episodes during the daytime, and then at night, as y'all know, Shizuku will be pulling up. You know what I mean? That's basically my last stream here. Tell all season finale. Yeah. I mean, I literally just said that, but try to get the Sidemen too. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get Toby, whoever wants to pull up, bro. A little sleepover vibe. I'll be catering food, snacks, you know, all those things. Can I bring in +1 Scorpio? I'm not inviting you, bro. Stay your ass at home, bro.
What the heck?
Project. It's located just a few kilometers away from the recently opened Red Sea International Airport, which serves as the main international link for the entire mega project. A total of 11 different luxury resorts are set to open on the island by 2025, and the total cost for all these developments is reported to be somewhere around $3.7 billion. Next up, there's also Amala, a world-class luxury wellness destination on the Red Sea coast. A total of 6 high-end resorts are all planned to open on the site by 2025. But while the official website states that they're all opening soon, we weren't actually able to get any more news or information about them aside from what they say on their own website. So probably take these supposed opening dates with a grain of salt. The next mega project on our list is The One. It's an ambitious new super tall skyscraper that's being built in Toronto. With a planned height of 308 meters, it would become the tallest building in the country, as well as Canada's very first super tall skyscraper.
This is a Zip car. You could own this car, but
Their
it'll
first
cost you.
skyscraper?
The tower will feature a mix of luxury condominiums and retail outlets, as well as a Hyatt hotel, for a total price tag of at least $2 billion. Although construction on the structure itself has already surpassed more than 85%, its planned 2025 opening isn't exactly set in stone just yet, especially given the rocky history of the project's construction, having to change developers after the original company behind it defaulted on billions of dollars in loans. There's also the threat of a completely unrelated lawsuit on the project that could potentially delay it even further, though we won't be getting into that in any detail in this video. We'll see if the skyscraper does actually end up finishing in 2025, or if it ends up in next year's video once again. Now, speaking of our videos, if you're enjoying our mega projects content, make sure that you'll be there. Back to the
Hey man, I'm here.
Heading developed in Australia, a brand new mixed-use development is currently being built and redeveloped in the heart of downtown Brisbane. Queen's Wharf is composed of a total of 4 new towers sitting on top of a 7-story podium. Connecting the 4 towers is a massive observation platform called the Sky Deck, which has an uninterrupted 360-degree view of the entire Brisbane skyline. The tallest of the 4 towers is the Queen's Wharf Residence, which has a height of 242 meters. The development also features thousands of apartments, hotel rooms, and even a casino. The project is already partially complete with a total construction cost of $2.3 billion. And the very first residents are expected to be welcomed into the development sometime in early 2025. Going back to Germany now, the Facility for Antiproton and Ion Research, or just FAIR for short, is an international research facility that's currently being built in the city of Darmstadt. FAIR will primarily be dealing with particle accelerators, just like the previously mentioned ESS. But unlike that facility in Sweden, FAIR will be quite a bit more specific when it comes to its research goals and interests, which are mainly nuclear, particle, and antimatter physics. One application of this new facility will be to create environments that simulate what it's like inside supermassive objects like neutron stars. This gives scientists an insight into environments that we could only theorize before. Some sources say that construction on the project will complete sometime in 2025 with a budget of $2.7 billion, but the developers themselves still haven't confirmed this date. Welcome to the top 10. Kuwait International Airport is about to open a new world-class passenger terminal, marking a major milestone in the country's efforts to modernize and future-proof its one and only international airport. The new Terminal 2 is expected to increase the airport's passenger capacity by as many as 25 million each year. Another goal of this new terminal is to elevate Kuwait International Airport's status as a potential regional hub, given its strategic position deep within the Persian Gulf, similar to how Dubai and Doha quickly rose to becoming major airline hubs. Now, one interesting fact about this project's construction is that it's actually being built with the goal of trying to reach a LEED Gold certification from the United States Green Building Council. If you haven't heard of this certification before, it's basically a massive stamp of approval indicating that the project was created with sustainability in mind. And with a price tag of $4.3 billion, it would be really impressive if they do manage to get that certification. In one of the single busiest international corridors in North America, a new bridge is about to disrupt a monopoly that's been held in the region for more than 90 years now. The Gordie Howe International Bridge is a new international crossing between Detroit and Windsor across the Detroit River. We've actually previously featured this mega project in a recent video, but for those of you that aren't familiar, it'll serve as an alternative route to the already existing Ambassador Bridge, which has remained one of the only 2 international crossings in the area. The Gordie Howe will have more lanes and better connections on both sides compared to the existing bridge. The 2 sides were finally connected to each other back in June 2024 after 6 years of construction and a cost of $4.5 billion. The bridge is now set to open to the public sometime in 2025. Despite a turbulent geopolitical past, Iraq's long-proposed Al-Faw Grand Port is finally about to welcome the very first ships to its berth in 2025. Situated in a prime location along Iraq's tiny and only coast by the Persian Gulf, the Al-Faw Grand Port is projected to have a capacity of 100 million tons of cargo each year. This makes the new mega project one of the biggest ports in the entire Gulf. The breakwater that was created for this port is actually the longest one in the entire world, with a length of 14.5 kilometers. The first phase of construction, which will be completed in 2025, is estimated to cost just under $5 billion. The next 2 phases of construction are currently estimated to be completed by 2045, when the port will have a total number of 100 berths. Once fully completed, the Iraqi government hopes for the port to become a major shipping hub between the Middle East and Europe, completely bypassing the extremely expensive Suez Canal through an extensive national rail network, which will directly connect with the port on the coast. A pair of brand new 9-kilometer-long railway tunnels are being built under Melbourne's central business district. The Melbourne Metro Tunnel will serve as a new direct connection between 2 suburbs to the north and the south of the CBD. With this new $8.6 billion connection, high-frequency lines are now possible between the 2 sides of the city without having to pass through the busy downtown. The Metro Tunnel will also come with 5 new underground stations, increasing the total capacity of the entire metro system. The project was originally intended to be completed in 2026, but the contractor for the project announced back in 2023 that it would be finished by the following year, 2024, which is why we even covered it in last year's video. Man, I'm sensing a theme here. The tunnel is still not yet open, but the project is still ahead of its original schedule, as it's now expected to be operational by 2025. Canada
You'd
will
hope
soon
so.
be able to efficiently export liquefied natural gas, coming mainly from British Columbia, to its main trade partners in Asia. LNG Canada will be a series of infrastructure projects that'll enable the production, transportation, storage, and export of LNG from the Canadian West Coast. The project includes 2 new processing plants, a 6-kilometer gas pipeline, natural gas liquefaction and storage plants, and a new terminal for ships that'll directly be connected to the rest of the system. Now, the developers of the project aim to open the entire system by 2025, with a total cost of $28 billion, making it one of the most expensive projects in this video. But it's still unclear if they'll be able to actually meet their deadline. The city of Jeddah is now about to open its own $16 billion metro system that's been in the works for more than a decade now. The Jeddah Metro will consist of 4 different lines and will have a total of 81 stations spread across 160 kilometers of rail. The project is part of a larger master plan for the city that aims to increase the commuter share of public transport from the current 2% up to a more favorable 30%. Aside from the metro, there are also plans for an LRT, a tram line, a commuter rail line, a bus rapid transit, and a water bus along the coast. The Jeddah Metro will connect important parts of the city to these other infrastructure projects, as well as the King Abdulaziz International Airport. At number 4, let's head on over back to China, where in typical Chinese construction industry fashion, 3 super tall skyscrapers are all scheduled to open in 2025.
Dude, this is
God
a horrible
damn.
gaming experience. How do you live like this?
Well, I don't know, Linus. I don't have time to research upgrades for this thing. Can't you just build me one? Do I look?
First up is the International Land Sea Center, located in Chongqing. This 458-meter tall skyscraper is the 9th tallest and 18th tallest in China and the entire world, respectively. The tower architecturally topped out back in 2024, and it's currently scheduled to fully open by the following year. Next up, we have the Great River Center in downtown Wuhan. The 400-meter office building is currently under construction and is also set to be fully completed by 2025. Finally, the China Merchants Bank Global Headquarters main tower will be a 393-meter tall skyscraper located in Shenzhen. The structure was topped out back in April 2024, and it's set to be completed by 2025. The Jeddah Metro isn't the only metro system from Saudi Arabia that's completing in 2025. The kingdom's capital, Riyadh, is also set to fully open its metro system by the turn of the year. At number 3, the Riyadh Metro consists of a total of 85 stations spread across 6 lines and spanning a system of 176 kilometers. As of December 2025, 5 lines have already been opened to the public, with the final line scheduled to start operations in January of 2025. The total cost of the entire system is estimated to be $25 billion.
Goddamn.
The Sky Tower at Pinnacle One Yonge is another super tall skyscraper that's currently being built in Toronto. In fact, this tower is actually just 3 kilometers down the same street from the previously mentioned The One, which is also a contender for being the tallest skyscraper in Canada. Comparing the two, however, the Sky Tower is planned to be an entire 40 meters taller, with a height of 347 meters. The question of which of the 2 skyscrapers will finish construction first is still up in the air, but it's pretty interesting to see how these 2 completely different projects are both vying for the prestige of being the tallest skyscraper in Canada, while being located so close to each other and also being built around the same time. But unlike The One, whose future is starting to look a little unclear, construction on the Sky Tower seems to be going as scheduled. Some sources are saying that the project is expected to be completed sometime in 2025, but we can't fully confirm that just yet. Finally, at number 1, the Trans-Sumatra Toll Road in Indonesia is, as the name suggests, a tolled expressway that'll encompass the entire length of the Indonesian island of Sumatra. This road network starts at the very northern tip of the island, with the city of Banda Aceh, and reaches all the way down south to the town of Bakauheni. The main corridor of the road network will mostly run near the eastern coast of the island, where most of the population centers are located. But there will also be smaller corridors that'll connect a few of the large cities on the west coast, such as Sibolga, Padang, and Bengkulu. In total, the entire toll road will have a length of more than 2,800 kilometers, and will cost as much as $33.2 billion, making this project the most expensive one on our list. As of October 2024, more than 40% of all the roads have already been completed, with the remaining segments planned to be finished by 2025. Another 10% or 300 kilometers of the road, however, is still being worked on until 2026 or maybe even longer.
Oh, hell no.
Which of these mega projects are you the most excited for? Which do you think will not actually finish in 2020?
Damn, China got it though. They tied 3 island number 2, I think, or number 3. I'll go watch my boy Jason the Wing. Y'all have a good one. Deuces. Bro, I want to show y'all how it looks outside in Chicago right now. Look at this. This gloomy ass weather. It don't even do it justice. Hold up. Let me see if I can point it straight. Look at all that. Some gloomy ass weather.